All right, guys, welcome back to another edition of Warcraft 2 Arena. This is episode 8, part 3, No Excuses. And so if you're here for the sensational title, in the description of the video, I've put timestamps so you can click to the end to listen to the rage. But between now and then, I'm going to be just going over these games that I've played here recently. And again, no excuses. So when I say no excuses, there's a long tradition in the Warcraft 2 community where, you're humble in victory and graceful in defeat. And I like to abide by those standards. So basically, whenever I lose, I never have an excuse for why I've lost the game. Anyway, so with that in mind here, we're going to go ahead and get this started here on the first map being Murky River. And my opponent is a previous Warcraft Arena contender here, the Warcraft 2 mod king himself, Danny LLD. So yeah, so we'll get started here, and you can see me starting up at the top right hand corner of the map here. Now I've never played this map before, and so we'll see how this goes. But as you can see, I'm human here, just kind of starting off with my town hall. Now I gotta say, like, before I started, I played this on Sunday afternoon, and I had just gone out with my wife and had a very large carb loaded seafood platter at a local diner. And I don't eat a lot of carbs, so I was very carb loaded, groggy. I just wasn't really with it during these games. Now, on my way back from the diner, I was like realizing this is probably going to be the case. So I went to McDonald's to get a milkshake, and their ice cream machine was broken. And the McDonald's employee was basically like, yeah, it's broken, and you also suck at Warcraft 2. Now, she didn't actually say that, but I just kind of got that vibe from her that she was thinking it. And so I was kind of carrying some negative energy with me here, starting off this series. I'm a Libra, so I subscribe to this website basically for zodiac signs, and it sends you like a daily horoscope. And usually it's just like, okay, well, today your lucky number is 7, or something like that. Anyway, you can see I'm kind of scouting here with my workers. I've kind of started off with like a standard build here, just 2 Raxes anyway. So yeah, going back to this website. So yeah, it'll send you daily messages, and you're like, okay. Well, on this day, right before this game started, it sent me a message, and it said, you're going to get your ass kicked by a Warcraft 2 player that puts Donkey Kong songs in modded Warcraft 2 custom mods. And I was like, well, I mean, that could mean anything, right? Like that. And anyway, you can see I've raxed them here. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. My finger slipped. And as you can see here, I'm, sending my, my footman in behind this here to provide some offense. So he's basically doing the same build as me here. And so you can see that he has 2 Raxes gone to go there. And I'm kind of surprised I can see them. He's got a teal color that really blends into the map here, which gives him a huge advantage. But anyway, so here I am. I'm kind of chopping in underneath that barracks because I just figure, well, my peon's down there, he might as well do something anyway. And then I could have repaired my barracks, but I realize it's gonna die anyway here, so I might as well just rip off the band-aid, so to speak, and hopefully do something with that peon, maybe return some wood. But actually I bring him back in, and I decide I'm going to fight with him. And actually I misclicked there. I meant to send him home, but my mouse was acting up like most of the... Well, I'll just be honest, my mouse is completely broken, and it's not doing anything that I'm telling it to do. But whatever. So anyway, my peon's still there because I can't send him back home because my mouse is broken. But I was able to use my functional keyboard to hit T for stop to stop those 3 footmen into a choke there, which gave me a little bit of an edge there in that fight, but of course he, with the 2 Raxes, is eventually able to fight me off. So there's my peasant just kind of chilling out there, and I'm like, uh-oh, I better send him home. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, so right before I started this game, yeah, I got a call from my insurance company that my car insurance rates went up, and I mean, that just pissed me off. So I was very depressed before this game or this series even started, to be honest. You know, I've had a lot of personal issues lately, and you know, I just thought, man, I'll play some Warcraft 2, and that might cheer me up here. But yeah, things just didn't go my way, and you know, as we'll see here as we continue along. Now, actually, one thing, and you know, if you're watching this video, you'll notice that I've got a few themes on the go here. So one of which is, you'll notice the music that I'm playing is some really nice orchestral Warcraft 2 music that was created for World of Warcraft. I believe the Shadowlands expansion. I don't even know if that's a thing. I stopped playing World of Warcraft back at Wrath of the Lich King, but anyway, it's really nice. And actually, I'm using this, as you can see, he's attacking me here, and I'm forced to put up a guard tower there, and I kind of explore his base, and I kind of debate if I should take his natural expansion or not, and I decide not to. So yeah, he's beating away on my barracks there. He's got a 2-on-1 on all my footmen popping out, so that's hurting. Eventually that tower is going to upgrade, and he's going to eventually back off there, because otherwise he's just going to lose all of his footmen. So he smartly just backs up a little bit, just out of range of that tower, and then sets up another choke point there. And anyway, so as he's doing this, I'm thinking I'm probably going to need like an archer or something, but I'm supply blocked. I don't have any food because I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm partially blind. I actually couldn't see how much wood I had or farmed, so that makes playing this game a little hard, to be honest with you. But anyway, I do my best. So I go ahead and I put up a stable. So at this point in the game, I'm just thinking, okay, get out some knights, and you know, that's pretty much the play here. You know, just to kind of outproduce this guy. So I set up my footmen in front of my barracks there, and that's just going to pop my archer just back slightly there. Anyway, you'll notice here that he was thinking the same thing. So he had actually sent up an archer of his own here that you'll just see arriving here, and he immediately targets my archer. And so by this point, it's kind of too late for me to you know, target his and do any damage. So I basically just build another one. And as I do that, I repair another barracks behind my first one here, because obviously having one barracks is not very good. Yeah, so anyway, I get my archer attacking him there, and I get the first hit in, and that's all it takes. And anyway, so now he could go in there and kill, and he does there, kill that archer, and then retreat back immediately. So yeah, he's playing pretty good here. His micro's pretty on the ball. So yeah, anyway, so now I've got some knights, so I figure, all right, well, I'll just break through this little choke point he's got here. And then I realize he's got another like 7 footmen behind it, but between my tower and the knights, I'm okay, so I can kind of hold this off here. So yeah, just kind of chugging along here. I don't really have a great economy. I've kind of been supply blocked here, and I haven't really been producing peons like regularly. You know, just given the fact that I have a broken mouse, among some other issues. Actually, I didn't mention this yet, but my hand is actually broken. And so it's actually quite excruciating for me to do anything. I'm actually screaming throughout all 3 of these games in pain. Now, my doctor explicitly told me not to play in this tournament because it's going to set back the healing process of my hand by possibly months, where I've got a multiple fractures and anyway, so I just said, look, I can do this. My hand's going to be fine. You know, I obviously am capable of doing this, so I just did it. You know, I just went for it. So anyway, so here I'm finally breaking out with my knights, and yeah, so yeah, I've got about a dozen units in total there. So, and honestly, at this point, I'm probably aware that I'm behind this guy. Just, you know, he's gotten some advantages on me here throughout this game already, and yeah, so he's probably like a minute ahead of me in terms of like the rat race production of units, etc. And a minute's quite a long time in Warcraft 2. You know, you can do quite a bit in a minute, and I'm just pulling that number out of my butt actually, but yeah, you get the point. So I've got 3 Raxes up, and yeah, so I actually throw up a 4th, and then of course here he comes. He's got me way outnumbered, well, momentarily at least, until my other 3 knights popped out there. But between the guard tower, you know, I'm pretty good to go here. So he picks away at a couple of my woodworkers during that attack, but more or less didn't really do much. Lost more than he probably, yeah. And yeah, so anyway, he's still kind of poking through. I've got obviously some holes in my my wood there, or my forest, and so he can just freely run in and out of there, which probably wasn't very smart of me, but yeah, again, it's my first time playing this map, and yeah, it doesn't have much wood, and actually, as I'll discover here shortly, and what will probably be my downfall, is that there's actually not much room to build here. This mine has 4 gold mines, your starting mine, and then a natural. But if you noticed earlier, the natural, it basically just has enough room for your town hall, and that's it. So the only places that you actually have to build on this map are in your main bases. So yeah, so basically if you lose your main base, you have nowhere to build units anywhere else. So you can't just run away and rebuild at your second base, because there's no space to do it. Anyway, so we're doing a little bit of back and forth there as I send all of my workers down as my mine blows and I go to my natural. I was kind of surprised that he hadn't taken this from me yet. And yeah, so anyway, here I've got a pretty good level of production, and I'm thinking at this point, okay, well, he's probably in the exact same place as me right now. His mind's blown, and yeah, he's going to attack me probably here soon, as my cats actually were attacking me consistently through this series. They were sitting on my keyboard taking turns. I have 3 cats, and one of them is quite large, and when he sits on my keyboard, I actually can't even see the computer screen. And I have one that really likes to climb me, but he's very safety oriented, so he will claw in as deep as he can, just in case he loses his balance or something. He doesn't want to fall. So yeah, he's given me quite a few flesh wounds here. Anyway, so my knights, I decide, okay, well, he's obviously either has this expansion or is going to take it, and things haven't been going that great for me here. Anyway, you can see he's walled it off with a tower here, pretty much what I did at mine, but I kind of catch him a little early. I think he probably just got this mining. So as you can see here, I've got plenty of knights, and some of his units, because it's such a tight fit for his hall there, his units are actually popping out on the other side. So with all these knights and just that one guard tower to defend him, it's yeah, not looking very well for him. But I mean, it's clear at this point in the game that he has a large army somewhere, and there it is, running right into my base. So I take out his expansion, and he takes out my base, and we'll see, you know, what amounts from that here. But yeah, you can see that town hall just barely hanging on by a thread here. So I sent in a few reinforcements, and yeah, just finally after a minute or so here, I cracked through. And yeah, so anyway, as I do that, he has pretty much just completely overwhelmed my base. He's taking out my production units. So I actually have a decent amount of resources here at this point in the game. You know, I've got like 5,000 gold or whatever, but I've got no way to spend them. Anyway, so I finally take out his tower there, and then you can see he's healing. So In a war of attrition, it's not looking good for me, because not only does he have me outnumbered with his knights, or in his case paladins, he has healing, and I just have level 5 knights. So yeah, things are not looking great for me here. So I've got, let me see, 9, 11 knights, and a lot of them are half dead. So yeah, you can see where this one's going. This is not going very well. Now, I might have even still won this fight, but there was actually a lot of glare on my screen as I was actually engaging them here. And I really couldn't see anything, to be honest with you. Yeah, so here we go ahead and engage. And yeah, I'm not even joking, but I can't. One thing I don't like about these knight designs is, like, I can barely tell the difference between, you know, whose knights or who's with the color codes, you know, especially when they're like certain colors that just don't contrast very well. Anyway, yeah, so he takes the first game here, and yeah, so and this is a best of 3 series, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned, and the way it works is the first game is set up on this map, and then the second game the loser picks. Well, actually, from here on out, the loser picks the next map. So I obviously lost there, and I don't have any excuses as to why I lost, but I did lose, and I decided to pick Skirmish, because if you watch my previous episodes, or episode 8 part 1 and 2, you'll know that I've played this map Skirmish here already 3 times, so I was familiar with it, and I also have a 3-0 record on it. So I'm like, all right, it's a small map, maybe I can get my confidence back here, and I'll beat him on Skirmish here. So let's take a little water break there. And yeah, I'm probably not going to edit this video either. I just find it's easier for me to make these videos when I just put them out there. You know, because I do a little bit of editing to them, but I've kind of given up editing the audio now. It's like I'm just going to talk, and whatever I say or however it sounds, that's good enough, you know. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so the soundtrack here, going back to that, you know, for Shadowlands, it's really beautiful, and actually I've been listening to this music while I've been working on another project. I'm actually building like a Warcraft, kind of like a community website that's going to have a lot of cool features. One of the features is I'm actually letting people, you know, listen to this music while they, you know, browse the site. And so I've got like an orc and Alliance version, and there's about 10 minutes of music for each one that I've kind of edited together. And yeah, it just sounds really nice and relaxing. It's just that kind of music I can listen to all the time. So you know, it's dedicated to the Warcraft 2 game. You know, it's like I said, it's like orchestral Warcraft 2 music, and it just really sounds beautiful. And so they put a lot of time and effort into, you know, that, you know, really you know, dedicated to quality content for Warcraft 2. And yeah, so here actually I don't so when I was actually engaging them here, my wife was complaining because she had asked me to do the laundry earlier in the day, and I told her I did it, and I just lied, really. I don't know if I thought I was gonna get away with it, but she discovered that I was in fact lying, and I did not do the laundry. And so she was actually quite upset at me here, which is why this happened. So I mean, this is totally my wife's fault. And I explained that to her after the game, and she wasn't happy about that either. Anyway, so yeah, he had a choke set up basically there, and I probably assumed that, okay, well, he's trying to wall off and like do more of like an economy build, you know, maybe get out some archers or something. So that is why I tried to break that initially. But then I realized that he was basically just putting it there for the heck of it, like to basically set up a choke point. But what I should have done, and basically what had lost me the game here already, is I should have counter choked that farm, forced him to repair it, and then that would have basically worked against him. You know, he would have pretty much built his own deficit into the game by creating that farm. But like I said, in large part because of my wife, I fell right into his trap there, and basically lost some grunts. So anyway, so at this point, you know, I've already kind of committed to like cutting my worker count, and you know, little advantages on this map is all it really takes to win. So you don't see it yet, but I've already lost this game. I mean, I just haven't and Danny, like when I cast his last game, I think it was episode 6 maybe. Anyway, he's got all these crazy custom Warcraft 2 mods, and if you want to see one in action, you can go and watch that episode after this or whenever. When I was casting his games for a tournament there, I did notice that he was very fast. Like he's got like 300 APM, which is almost like pro level StarCraft level speed. And me, you know, having not really been playing this game, you know, for over a decade, you know, my kryptonite is a fast player, because I'm obviously not playing at that kind of tempo, and it usually takes me like a few months to really get to that point, you know, because I've played this game off and on for so many years. And every time I take, you know, extended break and I come back, it's like, it usually takes me at least like a couple weeks of playing regularly, where I kind of feel like I'm in the flow, so to speak. Where I've been back for about a month, maybe a little bit longer, playing the game, but I've been mostly just making videos. Like I haven't really had much time to play the game itself. So I'm still pretty rusty here. As we can see this big engage here. So I'm not doing too bad here until the reinforcements come in, and so here I'm just overwhelmed, and I only have like 8 peons. So if he kills 3 of those peons, that's all it's gonna take to like put me on my ass here. And that's what he does. He kills actually most of them until I'm finally able to fend off his footmen. But yeah, like at this point I have like 2 or 3 peons left, and I have like no gold. Like I can't even, like I just built a peon and now I'm broke. So yeah, I've got 2 grunts on the go. If I was smart here, I probably would have just kept pumping peons. And I kind of do, but I probably should have canceled one of those grunts, because it was just, and yeah, anyway, he's just gonna go ahead and run me over here anyway, so wouldn't have really mattered what I did. Although he does give me some breathing room here. And actually I was a little distracted at this point. So there were some roofers that were actually working on my roof here, directly above where I was playing these games, all day, like the whole time I was playing. And they were being very loud, and they were listening to like some old rock music that just gave me a headache. So you know, again, I don't make excuses, but I'm just laying out some facts here. And speaking of facts, you know, I did mention that I had a broken hand, and I was able to deal with that, but I don't remember if I mentioned I also have a torn rotator cuff in my right arm, which is my dominant arm and my dominant hand, and that's also the hand that's broken. So it's like, I can control my broken mouse slightly with my broken hand, but the agony of my shoulder while I'm doing it is just, it's rough, guys. Anyway, so you can see here, I've got a pretty good amount of grunts here, and I mean, I'm hoping that maybe somehow he just farm blocks himself and I have a good engage here and I can kind of come back into the game. But yeah, he's got me outnumbered here by like 6 footmen at least. So yeah, and like he pretty much splits his army in half, kills mine, and then still has the other half of his army. So like he just kind of, when after he killed my peons, you know, he just kept building up, and I was just like praying that he was going to attack me and I was going to get a good engage, but he was smart to hold back and not do that. So anyway, so now we go into the third game here, and again, this is a game on a map I've never played. So I actually picked this Widow's End because I have never played it, and I just figured I was already losing 2-0 anyway. It's like, whatever, I'll just play a new map just for the fun of it. I think if I was really trying to like come back and win in the series, I probably would have went with a River Kwai, because I feel pretty I feel like I know what I'm doing on that map now. But yeah, this map kind of looked interesting, but as we'll discover here, actually I don't particularly like how it's laid out. I just kind of glanced at it on like a map preview website before the game started, and then immediately, as you can see here, like I just immediately hate this map. You know, basically I'm just running around like an island here. I don't know how to get off of it. And, so I mentioned I was partially blind. While I was playing this game, actually, you know, I've got a 2-monitor setup in, you know, my office here. And so I play the game on one monitor, and I use the other monitor for just whatever, right? So anyway, my wife walks in and she says, honey, I thought you were playing a game today. And I said, I am. And she says, you're looking at the wrong monitor. I said, what are you talking about? She said, yeah, your game's on that monitor. So the whole time I've been staring at a Game of Thrones thumbnail image for a YouTube video for the soundtrack of Game of Thrones, with glare on the monitor. So I mean, that pisses me off for a few reasons. Number one, I don't even know how I've done so well thus far, having not even been looking at the monitor. Now, the other thing that pisses me off about that is I can't even say it with a straight face. Never mind. Yeah, so anyway, as you can see here, I'm just kind of running around the map, and this map, you basically have to run like all the way around it. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just annoying, you know. So maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it stops you from. It's kind of like the River Kwai, where you pretty much have to play into the long game. But me not realizing that in this game, wasn't really planning accordingly. I was just kind of playing standard, not realizing, you know, how this map was really laid out. Yeah, so as you can see here, like, yeah, I'm pretty much stranded over here. And so you've got this gold mine that you start off with. And yeah, you don't have that much gold, but you've got another gold mine basically right next to you, as you can see there. So I decided, okay, well, I might as well, I mean, it's going to be a while here, so I might as well take another base. And that mine doesn't have a lot of gold in it either. I think they're both like 30k or something like that, which is like, yeah, not a lot. So anyway, yeah, so I'm basically just thinking here, make some more farms. And anyway, at this point, actually, my chair broke. So I've got this like computer chair. The armrest actually, you know how they have those like adjustable armrests? Well, mine got stuck and I couldn't adjust it. So I'd actually been quite uncomfortable for a long part of this series. And then, so, I mean, yes, I'm partially blind, but I've got a pug, and she's got this weird thing she likes to do where she sneezes right in your face, and it's like she does it on purpose, and I don't know why, but it pisses me off. And usually it's like a dry sneeze, but right around this part of the game, she sneezed into my face, but it was like snot balls right in them, and they went right into my eyeballs. So anyway, I couldn't see shit from this point forward in the game. Yeah, and anyway, I don't, like I said, does anyone know why pugs do that? Because it baffles me. Anyway, so here you can see I'm repairing a farm because I obviously wasn't capable of seeing that I needed one. Yeah, so I finally finished that farm, and yeah, if I was smart, I would have just kept making them here, right? Because when you've got 2 town halls, 2 barracks, you have to be making farms like repeatedly. In fact, you need to even be making 2 at a time, or just repairing one at all times. And me, I'm just like, I don't need farms, you know. I think I've just got enough farms here, so I'm just gonna keep trying to make units while I don't have any farms and see how that goes, you know, see if that's a good strategy to use. Yeah, as you can see here, I'm like, I've got workers running around, and oh, hey, let's 5 minutes later make another farm that we've needed for 5 minutes. Yeah, so as you can see here, I mean, I've kind of, at this point, I have a cracked rib, and it's really starting to bother me, and so I'm losing my focus on the game here. And every time, especially when the wheel on my chair broke, having to kind of adjust my torso with a cracked rib during the game, it's just been rough. But I'm almost through the series here, guys. You know, I'm trying. So I've got my stables up there, finally, and so I finally go ahead and take level 5. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got this like choke here, and I'm just really sitting inside my own base, because I honestly realize that, I mean, he's probably way ahead of me here, just by not being terrible at the game, because I've been playing pretty terribly here. Like, I've farm blocked myself, like, you know, for like minutes at a time, you know, just playing like a complete noob here, and just being like completely oblivious. So anyway, I can see he's got his army coming down here, and yeah, he's ahead of me. He's got a bunch of knights, I've got footmen, you know, so yeah, I mean, all is not lost yet here as my first mine blows. And again, I'm making farms, you know, like, it's like I get farm blocked for like an excruciating amount of time, and then I finally make a farm, and then I just I just don't make another one, and then it happens again. Like, this is probably the worst I've ever played. Well, so since returning, even the first game I played back, and I was like, you know, playing against computer opponents, like, I think I even played better in that game than I did here. But anyway, yeah, so this isn't going very well. Now, actually, at this point, my phone rang, and yeah, my mom called, and like, my mom likes to talk, and it was going to be rude of me to hang up on her, so I actually was having a very in-depth conversation with my mother during this fight, which might explain why I lost it. Yeah, anyway, my mother's having me over for Easter dinner coming up here this Sunday, and so I'm quite excited about learning that during this battle. So yeah, looking forward to the turkey, Mom. Now, I did call her up afterwards and blame her for losing this tournament, and she got mad at me over that, but I don't care, it's true. Now, here we can see he's just running me over, and yeah, this is the end here, guys. So anyway, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, you know, you've got to really be humble in victory and gracious in defeat, and so I stand by those honorable virtues of Warcraft 2, and thus submit defeat to the Warcraft 2 King of the Mods with absolutely no excuses. And now, with that said, it's time for me to rage, guys, because, all right, so number one, I'm pissed off, and I'm going to tell you why. So, and I've mentioned this in some other videos, but basically in Warcraft 2 right now, you have player... Okay, I'll explain this problem and why I'm pissed off. So, in Warcraft 2, let's say you're making a map. So there's a map editor that comes with the game, and you can specify player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, all the way up to player 8. And you can specify where they start, what their starting location is on the map. So they're basically, when you start the game with the map, your player, whatever designated player you are, you're going to start at wherever you've been assigned by the map editor. Every map for 30 years has worked this way. Now, you can set your player number to be 1 and 5, and then you can make it a 2-player map. Or you can say your player is 1 and 7 or 1 and 2. It's never mattered. But recently, Blizzard, and actually this has been an ongoing issue that I've been kind of communicating with the community about here and realizing the extent of it. And this has basically been since the start of the game being launched here back in November 2024 with Remastered, where they haven't figured out the logic of assigning players associated to their map position. So a map in Warcraft 2 has properties, and those properties contain that information. So the developers of this game, this remastered version of this game, have been staring at this code for probably going on 2 years now, and they haven't figured this out, like a core kind of framework of how the actual game works, right? So they're putting in these hotfixes to say, hey, if you make a map, make sure that you number the players sequentially, otherwise it's going to break. But not only that, there's 2 settings in the game when you create a multiplayer game, or any kind of game actually, like a single player game, like a custom game, where you can specify your starting location to either be random or fixed. So if your location is random, obviously that just means that you're going to start wherever. So if there's 8 players on the map, and you know, let's say there's however many players in the game, it shouldn't matter. You're going to start at one of those 8 random locations. But what they've done is they've said, okay, well, we for some reason haven't refactored our code for this project that we've been working on for 2+ years, and we don't even know how the game works, but we're just like patching things into it. And I don't really know this, but I just have to make this assumption at this point, because the game's been out for 5 months and they haven't fixed this, and it's completely broken the game for the Warcraft 2 community. Everybody that plays this game competitively is playing it on an old version of the game, like a community server, because the people that have spent 2 years remastering this game can't even fix basic functionality in the multiplayer. And it's not even that they can't fix it, they've actively broken it. They've sabotaged their own game with this coding logic, because what they've done is going back to where I was talking about, you know, your player positions and random and fixed locations. So random isn't actually random, it's only random to within how many players are in the game. So if you, for example, if you've got an 8-player map, let's just use Garden of War as an example, and so there's 8 different player starting locations. Now if there's only 2 people that are playing the game, so let's say you want to play someone one-on-one on an 8-player map, every single time you and your opponent are going to start in one of 2 locations, and in 99% of the cases, depending on how the map was made, those are going to be right next to each other. So basically you've got this massive map, and then when you play someone one-on-one and you pick random location, it's going to basically randomize you only between those 2 locations. In Garden of War, that would be like 4 and 5 o'clock. So the bottom right-hand side of the map, every time you launch the game, you or your opponent are going to be in one of those 2 locations. So this creates a problem for a variety of reasons. Number one, it just makes it just kills the game. It just makes it stupid. Like, it just makes the game stupid, right? Like, it takes out any level of strategy in having to scout your opponent. And it also tells you exactly where your opponent's going to be. If you're familiar with the map and your opponent isn't, it's going to give you a huge advantage because you're going to know exactly where they are, and they're going to have no idea where you are. Okay, so just right there, it should be enough reasons that this should be fixed immediately, right? But not only that, it eliminates, it just creates like this giant web of problems for players and reasons that they don't want to play on the remastered version of the game. So, like, I get that they're trying to do some other things with balance, and they recently had like a patch with, trying to improve the functionality and controls of like griffins and archers and axe throwers, and that's all awesome. But your game's broken, guys. Fix the broken part. It should be like 2 lines of code. Okay, actually, if you go to the BattleNet forums, I literally posted the code to fix this problem. Like, it can't be that complicated. I don't care how much spaghetti code's in this game. Like, number one, you need to refactor it. So you basically need to reorganize the code in the game so it makes sense so you can work with it. Like, that's part of your goal remastering a game, is to bring it up into modern times and modern coding structures and make it easier to work on moving forward, right? So the fact that you guys haven't even done that, and you don't even know how the player like positions work, it's like, man. Anyway, I'm not trying to be a dick about this, but this has been going on for 5 months, and they've broken it, and then they default the fixed location as like the default option. And actually, when I first came back about a month and a half ago, when I made a video about remastered, I was like, okay, why is this a default option? And I kind of complained about it at that point, not even realizing at that point that it was like that because the other option was broken. Like, but they still left it in the game even though it was broken, because it was just like this little hack fix that they use to incorporate the change. So yeah, like, anyway, going back to, the work they have done has been fantastic. The graphics, the balance changes, what they're trying to do is admirable. But fix this. Like, whatever you guys are working on, put it on the back burner. Whoever's working on this game, fix this one thing, please. This is like holding, like, I've talked to like plenty of pro War II players or like high level players that are playing on War II Combat, and they all say the same thing. They can't play this game on remastered. I mean, despite all the other issues and lacking features, this is the thing that just breaks the game. Like, no, you can't play the game the way it's ever been played, because you guys have broken this. You have broken Warcraft 2, and it's going to be an easy fix. And the fact that you haven't done this yet after 2 years, and just basically just allow people to play the game, the functional game, like just base functionality. You guys have broken the base functionality of the game with this one thing, and you can't be bothered to tell anyone about it, that you're working on it, nothing. It's just, hey guys, we broke your game. Thanks for 30 years of loyalty. But we're going to sell you the game that you've been playing for 30 years. And we're going to sell it to all these other people, and then we're going to break it, and so we're going to crush your dreams, guys. And yeah, like, so anyway, I'm going to put in the description here, and I'm hoping maybe somebody will help support this cause and just go on the BattleNet forum and copy paste the message I put down there. It takes you 10 seconds. I'll put some contact info for the developer, because at this point I don't know who's actually working on the game anymore. If it's I think they're called Blackbird Interactive, who were kind of contracted to build the remaster version of the game. I don't know if they basically just built it up to a point and said, here you go, here's your product, here's what you paid us for, and then Blizzard maybe had some people internally that were trying to, work on what they have already created. Anyway, I don't know, and I shouldn't even have to care about this, so just fix the damn game, guys. Like, that's it. All you gotta do. I told you how to do it, and even if my solution's obviously not going to be like copy and paste. It's in, I think I wrote it in JavaScript, and this game I'm guessing is probably in C or C++ or something, but just fix it. The logic's the same. You know, if you can't figure that out, resign from your position and go work somewhere else and do another job, because this is what you're being paid to do. Just make the game work. Literally just work. That's it. That's all you have to do. Make the game work that you're selling actively right now for $20. Just make it work. That's it. All right, guys. That's all I got. As you can see, I'm pretty pissed off. But anyway, I'll cool off here. Go get myself a milkshake. So like and subscribe. And if you like this content, sorry for all the venting and complaining. Just in a bad mood today. So my next video is going to be a lot more upbeat and happy, I promise. All right, take care, guys.